So I'm going to be making phapatas, which I actually got this recipe while I was in Botswana from one of the street vendors. The recipe she gave me was actually for 5 kilograms worth of them, so I've cut that down a bit. But here we have the measure with all of that, and that has flour, baking powder, and some yeast in it. And I have my big bowl of warm water. I'm going to add some sugar here and some salt. And with my phapatas, I'm going to be making some, it's called Seswaa. And so I just added sugar in there to the water, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of salt. It's called for about 3/4 of a tablespoon, so that looks about good. I'll pour that in and I'll mix that up, and once that's mixed, I'm going to pour in the mixture of flour, baking powder, and yeast, and then I'm going to let it rise for about an hour. And while that's happening, I'm going to be making my Seswaa, which is actually cooked, according to some of the sources I found, traditionally it's cooked over an open in a fire in like a cauldron looking apparatus, but I don't have one of those, so I'm going to be cooking it in the oven, in a Dutch oven here. But first I need to brown the meat, and then I add some water. Okay, so I have my dough rising here. It's a little more watery than I would probably like. I think the conversion to altitude was a little hard because when I first tried it following exactly, I couldn't get it to mix together. It was too dry, but now it's a little too wet. But here is my meat. I've cut it into large chunks, and I have started browning it. I used a little bit of oil in it, just so that it wouldn't stick as much to the pan. And so once that's more brown, I'm going to add in the onion over there, some bay leaves, and salt and pepper, and cover it with water and stick it in the oven. Okay, so my dough has risen again, and I have my griddle heating up and flour for my hands as I make the different shapes. And then down in here, the meat is in the oven, so I'll show you again once I've got some of the phapatas going. So my bread is just about done. I have only 2 more pieces going, and those are almost done. I think I figured out more how to get the right texture. You kind of have to pull it apart, but not too much, or else you end up with like crackers. And then in here, there's the meat. I boiled off most of the water. I stopped doing any more because, as you can see, the pan was burning, so I need to figure out how to do that better. But I'm excited to taste it all. Bread tasted good from what I had. I'm excited to taste the meat.
I really liked the taste of the food. The Seswaa came out great. I used a little bit of hot sauce with it. Tasted delicious. But even on its own without the hot sauce, I really liked it, even though it's so simple with just the meat, onion, water, salt, and pepper. And the bread turned out great. The last few bits, I should say. The first part was a bit hard. I needed to figure out how to shape it, but the real flavor of it was quite good. And once I figured out how to stretch it into the correct texture so the middle would get cooked but not too flat, it was really good.